Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the daily meeting of the Telmex Fan Club. Yes, Gary Green, this is. You made me laugh, man. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our daily get together here. No, that's not true. This is not a daily get together, it's a live get together, morning get together, live from Monday through Saturday here on Facebook, 10:30 in the morning, where we take a look at current headlines from our city, from our state, from our country. We take a look at news that we hear about what's going on in Puerto Vallarta, and we try to combine all this stuff to try to have the best possible life we can have here as a community of English-speaking locals. Today is Saturday, July 10, and we are here with boundless optimism, trying to stay happy and cheerful. And some days it's easy, some days not so much. But we are going to have an interesting show, that's for sure. If this is the first time that you join us, please let us know that you're new by writing the word new in your comment, and we will give you a happy and cheerful welcome. If you have something important that you wish to share with the community during the broadcast, or if you particularly want me to look at something, it helps a great deal if you add the letter Q at the beginning. Q as in culture, and yes, culture spells it with a Q. Today we have news from culture, that wonderful little spot in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. We have COVID news. We have vaccine news. We have news about a rapist. Ugh. But it is the news. It's what's happening, and I think all the news is important to share. So let's get started. We start, as always, with our important headlines. We follow with the weather, and then we get into our chit-chat section. So please keep your comments flowing, and we'll address them on the second half of the broadcast. Okay, so we start with vaccination campaign, whereas we had originally reported that there were 11,000 COVID-19 vaccines left over from the campaign for the population in their 30s. This news note contradicts this notion. Jalisco Secretary of Health has confirmed that the final doses of the campaign were administered around 6:20 p.m. Yesterday, making the campaign for folks in their 30s far more successful than the one for folks in their 40s. This is excellent news, of course, and of course, at this time, we continue to wait for specific information for the first shot campaigns for folks in the 18-plus range, and second shots for folks in their 40s and their 50s. As you well know, as soon as this information becomes available, we will be so very glad to share it immediately here at Coffee and Headlines or on our Facebook page. Moving right along, the school term in Mexico officially ended yesterday, launching the beginning of summer vacation. Indeed, Despite the fact that schools have not been open, students throughout the country have had the opportunity and the obligation, the responsibility to engage with their teachers from home in light of summer vacations, though, which start officially today. Secretary of Tourism Miguel Torruco Marquez announced important news. He announced the first phase of a vaccination campaign specifically targeting workers in the tourism sector. So for this one, it doesn't matter if you are young or old or et cetera, et cetera. This is a brand new campaign that is going to start shortly, targeting just people that work in tourism. How closely, how not closely, again, there are no details just yet, but the first phase of this campaign contemplates eight popular tourism destinations in the country, starting with Cancun, Quintana Roo, and Los Cabos, where the rise of COVID cases has been more pronounced. And the campaign will continue with Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico City, and Playa del Carmen. Secretary Torruco made an interesting remark regarding national tourism and how its profile has shifted, showing now a marked interest in destinations, places, and activities that take place outdoors. Given the fact that the school year is over and that many people living inland have been confined, and this shift in preference, needless to say, we can expect a busy summer vacation period in Puerto Vallarta with Mexican nationals coming here to find a break from their lives elsewhere. You know how I feel about this. I just keep my fingers crossed that the folks that come and enjoy our beautiful destination will be mindful of the current sanitary guidelines. I'm sorry. This past Thursday, 2 days ago, Thursday night to be precise, a new shipment of 256,780 vaccines arrived in Guadalajara, the capital of our state, from Mexico City. Out of these vaccines, 181,900 are AstraZeneca and 74,880 are Pfizer vaccines. Given the fact that we recently announced that vaccination for the 18 plus sector could begin as soon as this coming week here in Puerto Vallarta, there is a chance that this might actually happen. However, as I mentioned just a second ago, there are no specific announcements at this time. In past experience, you know very well that usually the campaigns are announced the day before, and boom, all of a sudden it's time to go get vaccinated. So we'll keep you abreast of this situation. Vladimir Atilano Barraza, who oversees our sanitary region in the state of Jalisco, assured that there are no cases of the Delta variant here in Puerto Vallarta. Of course, he did not say yet, but if Puerto Vallarta has seen such a marked increase in COVID cases in the past 3 weeks without the Delta variant, which is 4 times more contagious, we can only hope that when the Delta variant reaches our city, things will not get out of hand. As a little bit of a commentary, let me break from the news for a second. I want to tell you that last night I had a lovely, lovely dinner with my dear friend Alina Weinberg, who is the editor and publisher of the PV Mirror. Sorry, Alina, please don't hate me. Of the PV Mirror, we had a lovely outdoor alfresco dinner at Vitea. So we were sitting outside, quite away from the crowds, but pretty much seeing that a lot of people were walking by. And it is a mixed feeling of being happy to see people out and about enjoying themselves, and seeing a lot of people that are not necessarily, following all the guidelines and so forth and so on. And, this was a dinner, so when I left my apartment, I left with the intention of doing a walking tour along the Malecon late at night so that we could see exactly what kind of activity goes on the Malecon on a Friday night. And of course, as an aside, I wanted to test my camera's capabilities of shooting video in low light, because the Malecon, even as much as it is a popular destination at night, it is not necessarily well lit. So I walked the Malecon, I shot the video, and as I was shooting the video and walking surrounded by people that were not masked, Some were, some weren't. And then when I approached all the nightclubs in that part of the Malecon where they are, I witnessed firsthand that there are huge, huge crowds of people inside of the clubs, which may be open to the outdoor, may have no glasses, but still there's a lot of people out there close to one another, not wearing face masks. And this was the weekend, or this is the weekend, in which tighter guidelines are supposed to start. Um, I did see that the government has deployed a series of banners in Spanish and English saying that you have to wear a mask. I did hear from a friend of mine that came over to say hello to us at the table that there are people from the tourism police standing at the Rio Cuale pedestrian bridge distributing masks and gently asking people to put them on. But I wonder if this is going to be enough. And we don't know. We don't know. And then to make matters more optimistic, just this morning, Pam Thompson contacted me to share this post made by Fernando Marquez on his personal Facebook page. I'm going to show it to you in a second. He is the medical director at Joya Hospital and also attends patients at the regional hospital. This is the public hospital. And I will gladly translate. And here's our not so pleasant Spanish lesson of the day. It starts with him saying people, which is people in English. Chingo, chingo de COVID. Shitloads and shitloads of COVID. Pónganse las pilas. Get your shit together. Young people, vaccinated, very sick and very grave, very ill and very, very bad. There have been deaths. You wouldn't believe this. Please take care of yourselves. The vaccine does not prevent the disease. It's like wearing a bulletproof vest versus not wearing one. But there, you can definitely get it. And this time around, the disease is bringing a what do you call those rattle guns that go really fast? Alexa, ¿cómo se dice metralleta en inglés?
Metralleta en inglés es machine gun.
Machine gun. This time around, the disease is wearing a machine gun. So, unfortunately, this is what it is, and this is what it has come to. And we've been saying this all along. We need to take this situation very seriously. I'm very happy that we have built a community that is very mindful of all these guidelines, and I am so very happy and proud of the fact that we keep mentioning this over and over again. But again, I emphasize the best thing we can do is take care of ourselves. If we don't start by taking care of ourselves and our loved ones, there's nothing much we can do to change other people. So I have my fingers crossed. I have the commitment of keeping us all well informed and as accurately informed as possible as we enter a period which could be not very pleasant for those of us that live here. Moving right along. Last month, and I don't believe we even talked about this here at the broadcast. This involves a little bit of a background story. Last month, on the early hours of June 21st, a local man was apprehended for hitting physically and attempting to rape a 63-year-old woman on the beach at Playa Flamingos. He was sent to jail and she was sent to the hospital so battered and bruised that she could not even share details of the horrible incident. Just a few days later, while she was struggling to fight for her life, the man was released from jail by a local judge without any charges. And this situation infuriated and incensed so many that the judge was eventually and shortly thereafter dismissed from the local prosecutor's office. We don't have details of the health of the woman, but yesterday, as this note indicates, the very same man was apprehended by the police for trying to attack another woman who even had a restraining order against him. Let us hope that this time around, the full weight of the law will fall upon him. And with that said, we turn over to the weather just to see what kind of weather we're going to enjoy this weekend here at Puerto Vallarta. at Puerto Vallarta, in Puerto Vallarta. I'm sure it is in Puerto Vallarta, but I said at Puerto Vallarta. God was in a bad mood when she invented prepositions. Prepositions. Oh my goodness, today my translating machine is not entirely with me, but I can tell you this: eating carrots does not improve your vision. Buying carrot apps, on the other hand, this is our snarky carrot weather application, trying to make a case for you to buy the app, which I use both on my Mac and also on my uh, Apple portable devices, my iPhone and my iPad. But what you really want to know is that today the temperature is presently at 28 degrees. Feels like 35 because we have very high humidity, 93%. Our Fahrenheit temperature is 82. There is a 9% chance of rain at this very moment, and our forecast for today calls for a humid and mostly cloudy day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 24. Tomorrow, Sunday, will be a humid and mostly cloudy day. Again, high temperature of 31, low temperature of 24. And the same thing for Monday, humid and mostly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 22. Bam. Now, let me take a quick look. Oh, this one is interesting because who knew? Who knew that one of our local bridges has a specific name? Time flies when you're having fun. On a day like today, but in 1981, the southbound vehicular bridge over the Isla Rio Cuale along Ignacio Vallarta Street, I almost said Vallarta, along Ignacio Vallarta Street opened for traffic for the first time. That was 40 years ago today. The bridge was built with funds provided by the city's administration and the local tourism bureau and bears a name. And I would bear my butt for anyone who actually knows the name. No, I'm just kidding. The name of the bridge is Alianza, or Alliance, the Alliance Bridge, which is first news to me, as I've never heard anybody say, "Hey, I'll meet you at Alliance Bridge at 4 o'clock." How, why do you think of that? So there you have it, a new factoid for us to talk about when we are having silly conversations with one another. The southbound bridge is called Alliance Bridge or Alianza Bridge, and it was inaugurated 40 years ago today. Today I did have a chance to browse through some local activities on Facebook, and here is something you may want to consider if you are in the Plaza Caracol area. Every Saturday this month, Plaza Caracol is hosting an alternative mercado or market featuring natural and organic produce. I believe this might be emulating a traditional Mexican market experience, but I'm not sure. We don't have many details here, but if you need to go grocery shopping and would like to consider a different experience, you may want to swing by Soriana at Plaza Caracol instead of your regular shopping destination of choice, just to see what this is about. Also, I discovered that at Culture, one of our cluster members, Marge Heaney, is the featured artist of the week. For those of you that don't know it, Culture is an awesome restaurant, bar slash cultural center that came out of an old traditional hotel in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. The hotel used to have tiny, tiny, tiny rooms in the second story and probably also in the first floor or the ground floor. The spaces upstairs were converted into artist studios, and the downstairs area features a courtyard where you can enjoy a lovely meal or a cocktail. But most importantly, Culture creates opportunities for folks like you and I to interact on a personal basis, on a one-to-one basis, with the artists that rent space at these studios. So if you are not familiar with Culture, you may want to check it out at some point. I will leave all these links, as always, with you on the show notes, which, thank goodness, despite our Telmex woes, we are slowly getting caught up with. We are caught up with our our show notes as of today. Yay! The Telmex woes are not over, but I don't want to burden you with all those details. But I do appreciate all the the comments of support that I've received from you both privately and publicly as I start this shameless civil disobedience social media video campaign to engage our lovely friends of this lovely company to get their shit together and do what they're supposed to do. Now, what I want to share with you now is something that I mentioned a couple of days ago on my birthday, but due to the Telmex snafu, I have been remiss in sharing details, so here they are. A few days ago, my dear friend Eric Robb of the Co-work Hotel located in Colonia Emiliano Zapata across from Encanto posted the following on Facebook. There is a local lady who used to teach in the schools in Puerto Vallarta and after that had a career in real estate here. She has very bad scoliosis and it's becoming debilitating, so much so that she has had to stop working. Without a pension, she is struggling. However, she does have a really cute hacienda style house with 4 studio suites she can rent out in the Coapinoli neighborhood near Pitillal. I am helping her do a freshening up, and we had the idea to make it into a small co living, co working property with fast fiber optic Wi Fi, shared workspace, and air conditioning inside. The co work will be quiet and uncrowded with daily, weekly, and monthly prices at half the price of others around town. All the suites will be renting for around USD 25 a night, with further discounts for monthly stays, $500 a month. The owner is just the nicest person you'll ever meet, knows Vallarta like the back of her hand, and is thrilled at the chance to meet adventurous guests and remote workers. Availability starting early fall, probably sometime in September. If you are interested, send me a personal message and I'll send you more information. Well, I read this and I figured, well, what a great community story. What a great community bit of news. So I reached out to Eric asking if we could mention this in the broadcast, and the local lady turned out to be our very own dear friend Julie Bunker, who also watches regularly. She is a member of our cluster, and she provided me with details with details that I want to share with you now. In order for the work to proceed in the transformation of her space, she desperately needs to find permanent homes for some 20 adult cats and a few kittens that she has been fostering. She is, needless to say, unable to take good care of them. She has offered me contact information, and starting on today's show notes, we will continue to feature a special message to help her with this challenge. As I mentioned on my birthday, I don't expect all of us to rush out there to adopt a cat, but if you are able to share and forward whatever information is made available through our channel, you will be helping a local English speaking community member just like you to go through a challenging situation. And the last bit of news that I have for you, oh my God, did I even show you this photo? I was supposed to show you this photo. Yes, I did. I did. Now I remember never mind, I showed you the photo. Now I have the final bit of news that I want to share with you, and unfortunately we don't have a photograph for this one, but we're going to rely on the lovely Google Maps to be able to explain it. If you are an English-speaking local, you probably recognize that this is the intersection of Basilio Vadillo and Ignacio Vallarta. There's Galleria Contempo, and further down is Cassandra Shaw, and over here is Galleria Dante. And here's Ignacio Vallarta. Ooh, nice sexy dude crossing the street. And then this is Basilio Vadillo coming from the beach. And at this corner here, I'm sure that by now you've familiarized yourself with this, there's a taco stand. There's a small but very important taco stand, and this is what I wish to talk to you about today. I got the following note from Craig Erickson, who also watches regularly. Hey Paco, and he gave me obviously authorization to share this with you. Hey Paco, hope all is well. I stopped last night at Taqueria La Tia Pera, and the lovely lady there informed me she's being forced to close or move. Moving is impossible, as she is attached to the Molcajetes building. The Molcajetes building. The Molcajetes is a brand new taco restaurant that opened at that very same corner. Los Molcajetes is the name of the place, and Los Molcajetes has someone at City Hall, and they want the city to close her, even though they only directly compete with her for a couple of hours at night. She has been there for 27 years, long before Molcajetes arrived. But as with most things, she has a small voice and is getting the shaft, in my opinion. She has a petition at the taco stand to allow her to remain open, so I thought perhaps you could put the word out and get some of the members to support her and sign the petition. Just my thoughts. I have been eating there for 20 years, and it is the only place open after 12 in that general area. So it would sadden me to see her lose her business because of some greedy new business that has power or thinks that they do. Obviously, there are always two sides to all stories, and I only know one side. But this just really stinks. She has tears. She had tears in her eyes when she asked me to sign her petition, which of course I did. Thank you. So that was the note that we got from Craig Erickson. And needless to say, I am not familiar with both sides of the story either, but I do know that La Tia Pera, as the owner is affectionately called, La Tia Pera or Aunt Pear, she has been the mother of so many young kids that have been troubled. She is the destination, the de facto destination for many nightlife mongers who get hungry after getting out of the clubs. And she was there first. Um, so if you feel strongly about this, feel free to stop by the taco stand, which is open during the evenings, and sign this petition. I know that I will next time that I'm in the neighborhood. How sad that an established restaurant that has several branches in Puerto Vallarta, there's at least one other one that I know in front of Soriana in the hotel zone. How sad that a more established restaurant is so threatened by a tiny little taco stand. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's hope that the entire story comes to light and that things happen in a positive manner for all involved. And that, my friends, is the end of the news. At this point, it is my pleasure to rewind the comments just to see what is on your mind. As always, I am eternally grateful for all your hellos from faraway places like Sherry, who's always watching from Lake of the Ozarks, to, oh my God, you guys are all over the place. Kathy, that is in Oakland. Ricky, that is in New Jersey. Um, Jeannie, that I suppose is still here. Hello, Jeannie. Raymond, who is hopefully now here and not in Guadalajara. Oh, Betsy Ann is in Emiliano Zapata. So now I can say you guys are here and there and everywhere. Let me continue just to see if there are any important or relevant comments to share with you today or to bring up in the conversation. Um, let's see, Pam is here. Pam is in the house. So I'm grateful, Pam, that you took some time from your busy schedule. If anybody has any specific questions for Pam, who we know is a local authority about things medical and definitely things COVID, this is a chance. Let's see what else we. Telmex is now Helmex. That would work if it was an English-speaking company. It is a Spanish-speaking company, but I very much like the sentiment. Oh my God, that could be a social media post if Telmex was in the United States or Canada. Shouldn't we call it Helmex? Thank you very much for the inspiration. Hope your heat wave has calmed down. I don't think that has to do with my personal heat wave, but it must have something to do with heat waves north of the border. Let's see. My dear friend is watching from Provincetown. Always great to see you, Earl. The sound is soft. Anybody else? I see my. Maybe the sound is soft because I'm feeling a little somber with some of the news, so I'm not projecting as much as I do. So let me see. Microphone, come to me. Maybe that'll help. Let's see what else. Sly says, sound is good. Turn up the volume. Okay. Trucha Cells Delta is here. Again, I'm not an expert. I cannot confirm or deny. All I know is that we need to take care of ourselves. Christy loves Vitea, so do I. Unfortunately, my favorite dish is no longer on the menu. They used to have this beautiful salad made out of Brussels sprouts, and it is no longer there. But I had a lovely pasta with blue cheese sauce that went very well with my glass of red wine. And I think I really need to get out more often because a good portion of the guys that I saw walking by I thought were really sexy, and a part of my brain knows that that was not the case. So I should really try to get out of the house more often. Um, I mentioned the video of the Malecon last night, but what I failed to mention, and I thank you very much for that comment, Kimberly, um, is I need you to guide me. I need you to guide me, community, because that part of me is like, why would I want to show a video that is going to show crowds of people, and it's going to show people that are not masked, and it's just going to bring an even sadder picture of what's really going on out there. And then a part of me is like, well, this is our reality. We might as well deal with it. So if you want to see the video, just write Malecon in your show notes. It's a little bit dark, but I am happy to share it. But I'm having second doubts about it. You let me know, and we will gladly go wherever you want us to go. Um, Let me see. What is the name or activity called of the indigenous men who are up high on the pole on the beach at at the Malecon, who spiral down the beach? Is this originated from Veracruz? It's called El Dramamino. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, it's not called El Dramamino. It's called projectile vomiting. No, it's not called projectile vomiting either. It's the Papantla Flyers, or the Voladores de Papantla. It is indeed a tradition that originated in the state of Veracruz. And at some point in our past, our municipality decided to install a Papantla flyer pole, and we have Papantla flyers here. If you want me to explain details about the ceremony, just write the word flyers in your comments, and I'll be happy to add that to our list. By the way, I noticed a lot of interest in chiles en nogada yesterday, and it is already on our list of things to pursue. We probably are going to wait until September because that is the official month. But I would be so very glad to let you know more about chiles en nogada and Papantla flyers if you care to learn more about them. Sylvie helps me confirm this. Thank you very much. Definitely do not go to the beach at night alone. That was such a seriously, seriously horrible thing. Brad says good things about culture. This is very good to hear. Da-dee-da-da. Maybe because this is about the bridge, maybe because there's an insurgent revolt against civil authority bridge, they needed to call the other one alliance. Oh, that is that well, interesting. That is food for thought, because that's not what I thought. Okay, the other bridge goes down Insurgentes Street, so the other bridge is the Insurgent or Insurgente Street. So maybe this one is called Alliance. My first thought, actually, Sylvie, is had more to do with the fact that there was an alliance between the local political administration and the tourism bureau. But you could be right, I could be wrong. It's an interesting point of view, and it didn't even cross my mind. Interesting, interesting. Oh, I didn't know that the petition was on Facebook, Enrique. If you happen to know the URL for that petition, I would be so very happy to distribute it in the show notes. If not, I will try to find it myself, and hopefully we'll find justice in this situation. Let's see what else. How can we sign? Says Kathleen. Well, I mean, the only way I thought we could sign was by going to the taco stand. But if there's a digital signature as well, please share the details. We are always happy to broadcast these kinds of things here at Coffee and Headlines. Matthew got his official vaccine certification from the Secretary of Health. Mazel tov. I'm glad to know that their service is now working. If you recall, we announced a few days ago that if you have received both of your vaccines, if you are in a 2-vaccine protocol, you can now go to a website where you can get an official certificate that you've been vaccinated from the government of Mexico, which may be helpful if you're planning to travel elsewhere. The other day, you were giving something away. Do you know the Facebook page Vallarta Buy Nothing? It's just for free items. Oh, I didn't know about that page. I am going to go and explore it to see what it's all about. Thank you very much for that, Terry. That's an excellent suggestion. And fortunately, I found a nice home for my Blu-ray player, which I never use, and a bunch of Blu-rays that I have, that I had. They have a new owner now, and I am just feeling lighter and happier as I purge things from my home that I don't need. Chitty bitty beam, bada boom bum bum. Oh my goodness, Dr. Hartman is in the house. Our favorite medical doctor, Dr. Hartman. How are you? I read your posts, see that you're flying back and forth. I hope that you're able and willing and happy to come back to Puerto Vallarta sometime soon. Uh, and let's see what else we have. Love you, Mark. Love you. I wish you were here. Um, Great. Thank you very much, Enrique. Here is the petition on change.org. Thank you very much. I will be so very happy to add this to our show notes so that we can all sign it digitally. Thank you so very much. Anna makes a comment about Telmex, kind of like CFE, which stands for Can't Fix Electricity. I love it. Enrique, you are a sunshine in my life today. Thank you for sharing that link because it allows us to close a circle and tell the whole story as best as possible. Um, Carrie asks for any activity on November 2 activities. Boy, you are on the optimistic side. I know that somebody wrote me about this and I have failed to reply. If it was you, Carrie, somebody asked me about Day of the Dead activities. Um, I I would like to be uh, no, there are no. I mean, I really wish we had some clarity on. I mean, it's so easy to try to resist. It's so easy to try to go on the condescending side and just say, "Oh, poor baby, what do you think you're talking about?" But no, the fact is, Carrie, is that your question is absolutely legitimate. People make plans to travel ahead of time, but given the current circumstances, it's become so difficult to do that anymore. I don't see any, or have not seen any updates on November 2 activities. Needless to say, all the tourism bureaus, local and regional and state and so forth and so on, are itching to have some clarity on what's going on. But nobody can have clarity, unfortunately, until we get this virus under control. Um, Needless to say, you want to. You want to stay connected and you want to stay in touch, and hopefully we will have a Day of the Dead that does not have any negative connotation. Then Sherry wants to know where Vitea is. Oh, Sherry, that is so easy. Check it out. Watch me go to Google. Watch me type Vitea. And there it is, Vitea Oceanfront Bistro. Now, you can do that for yourself. Let's see what else we have. Flyers, 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 flyers. Oh, you want to know about flyers? Okay, thank you very much. Flyers, Papantla flyers. I was thinking flyers as in Encanto or Act 2 flyers, and I went dizzy for a moment. Ooh, flyers. No, we don't want more flyers. No more banners. Please, no more banners. Anyhow, um, now that would definitely be projectile vomit, girl. Paco, I think you should join the P Flyers with your camera. Well, I will tell you this: I secretly would love to climb that tower and do a kick-ass photo from up there. But number one, I've become clumsy as I've grown older, and number two, I would probably get arrested. So no, 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 no. We're not going to do that. Projectile vomit. We don't want that. Uh, Karen says Malecon, but maybe in the daytime. We've done a daytime video of the Malecon before, Karen, and I'll help bring it out to surface soon so that you can find it easily on the website. I thank you so much for your good wishes. Trust me, I um, I take care of myself. I wear my mask. I avoid people like they were ski obstacles. I stay home most of the time. Um, it's I'm proud. I'm proud to say that I am taking very good care of myself. I'm not taking any chances. Um, but again, the malecon is nasty. I would stay away from it. I really, really would. Um, oh dear. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take chances on your name because I don't want to mess it up. GG. Can I call you GG? I mean, you may hate me, but I'm just going to call you GG because it's safe. A segment about culture notes to remind people about cultural events in PV and Rivera Nayarit. Trust me, I am always keeping an eye open for these kinds of things. Again, regretfully, most of the things that make our destination vibrate, and I'm talking about patron saint parties, official celebrations in our country, most of that stuff is right now shut down because of the pandemic. But that said, whenever the dates do come about, we always make sure that we mention something to that effect. And I appreciate very much that you, like many people here in this gathering that we have Monday through Saturday, want to know more about the cultural events in our country, or more specifically in our region. That makes me very happy and gives me hope to think that there are awesome people like you in our community of English speakers. Thank you very much. Um, let's see what else. Let's see what else. Culture's watching. Thank you very much, Culture. I mean, you guys do awesome things by showcasing your artists, and I think that's a wonderful thing. And I think it's a great, and I speak from experience. When I lived in Boston, going to the open studios was such an important and nurturing opportunity to be inspired directly by the mindset and the soul of the people that are exhibiting. So thank you for doing what you do, and it is a pleasure to promote anyone or any business that endeavors to create nurturing and positive connections between residents and other residents or creators in this case. Um, Terry, you're absolutely right. It is very emotionally draining to stay diligent. And I called a couple of friends of mine yesterday or the day before, and after one of our broadcasts, and I said, "Oh dear, I think I'm reaching meltdown now." Again. But the meltdown has nothing to do with what goes on here. It has everything to do with my ability to connect with you, which is, for better or worse, largely dictated by my ability to deal with a moronic company that is not delivering what they promise. The good thing is that I have discovered that Telcel may have a solution for me because they do have a dedicated internet service that one can rely on, and I will be happy to share details. I'm also going to explore Total Play. I've heard some nasty things about Easy, so I'm staying away from them. But I will keep you posted about my Telmex woes without overwhelming you with them. And that brings us to the end of our broadcast. It is such a pleasure to connect with you, and it is such a pleasure to hopefully help all of us find something new, wonderful, intriguing, and fascinating to explore, to inspire our lives. So I hope the rest of your weekend is awesome. I hope you will stay kind, you will stay well protected, well nurtured, well fed, and hopefully I'll see you again on Monday. If not, sometime soon after that. Have an awesome day.